Hello there, everybody. Number 12 here. I started this project with the idea that I wanted to make a scripted video with well edited content. I wanted to actually try my hand at doing something like that because I love watching those kind of videos. But I slowly just started to realize I do not have the skill for that. I every time I would write a script, I would just I just felt like it wasn't good enough. I felt like I needed to rewrite it, and I just never was happy. I did not like. I wanted to do like summaries for the chapters of the arcs. I wanted to like have visuals on the screen. It just was boring, and I don't think I can do that well enough. So here I am, just ranking 22 shows, and yeah. So instead of having to spend months and months editing this freaking video and trying to find clips only for it to get copyrighted, and then having to figure out how to avoid the copyright, I'm just going to be giving short opinions here about how I feel about each of these arcs and going through them. And yeah, maybe I'll show some visuals on the screen. I don't know what future me is going to do. I just know present me is going to currently talk about these shows and how much I enjoyed watching these. And yeah, show my rankings and my friends' rankings because I watched these with two of my friends, and I'm having a blast watching with them. And we'll keep watching these all the way to the end of these shows. So how I got these 22 shows is that I went through my anime list and I sorted the most popular action shonen, and I started with Attack on Titan's 9 arcs, and because another show I really wanted to do was Yu-Gi-Oh, and Yu-Gi-Oh also has 9 arcs. So I was going off of if a show has 9 or more arcs, I would include it onto this list, except for a couple of shows which I included, which are Hunter x Hunter, because it is the 5th most popular action shonen, and One Punch Man, because I'm reading it on Shonen Jump, and I classify it as a shonen, so I am including it on the action shonen list. I'm going to go through these 22 shows, ranking and discussing my opinions on them in the order of shortest to longest, getting rid of filler and stuff. We start off with One Punch Man's, the Saitama introduction arc. Yeah, we start off with One Punch Man, which starts off with the Saitama introduction arc, which is 4 chapters in 2012, and then anime adaptation was 2015 with 1 episode. And I think this is a good first arc. I really do like these first 4 chapters. 4 or 3? What the fuck am I? Yeah, first 4 chapters. It's just really simple 4 and like chapters that don't really connect to each other. But yeah, no, this is a great introduction to Saitama and the world of One Punch Man. There is some wonderful gags, and I think it's hilarious and wonderful, and I would really enjoy it. Yeah, and next is Fullmetal Alchemist. So yeah, Fullmetal Alchemist starts off with the City of Heresy arc, which started in 2001 and was adapted into the anime 2003. But I am watching Brotherhood, which was adapted in 2009. Fullmetal Alchemist here starts off fantastically. I'm just gonna like reveal it here first. This is peak S, fantastic. I love Fullmetal Alchemist, and this is a fantastic starter to the story. We get good introduction to Ed and Al and their personalities and stuff, and it's really fun to see them try to get the Philosopher's Stone and Cornello dealing with that. And yeah, Cornello gets his killed by gluttony in the end, and we hear about Father. So this is a very good first arc. I don't know how detailed I want to go. This is a very long video, so I think I am going to leave a lot of these very short. Since I do talk about it with other shows, I do want to bring up the fact that the Fullmetal Alchemist first arc is very different between the manga and the anime. Both animes don't really cover the first arc of Fullmetal Alchemist completely faithfully. There's stuff that O3 adds and moves around, and there's things that Brotherhood cuts. But I still think that this is fantastic and wonderful. There is one thing though, like the freaking thing of Cornello and him fighting. They don't ever show the actual event that happens in the adaptation where like Cornello just rebounds and that's it. He gets headbutted by Ed, and that's it. I just wanted to cut in and add this little segment to, yeah. Okay, next up, we have Attack on Titan, which its first arc covered 2 chapters and was released in 2009, with the anime adaptation being 2013, with 2 episodes covering the arc. This is an incredible arc. I'm just gonna straight up say this is my favorite. I freaking love this arc. I freaking love Attack on Titan. There's a reason why people fell in love with the show. It's partially because of this freaking amazing arc. I think it's mostly because of this. Like, oh my gosh, they just introduce it by just having Aaron's mother just get eaten in the first episode, and and then just, yeah, it just gets. Then we have like the Armor Titan also just like busting through the wall with that amazing scene. I don't know which one I prefer. I think it's like kind of tied for me between the manga and the anime, because the manga has it where like, oh, our Eren and Mikasa made it to the boat and they're safe, and then all of a sudden, bam, the Armor Titans crash through the wall, and it's like, oh, humanity's not safe. We're fucked. But also the anime has an incredible scene of the Armor Titan just stepping, slowly walking, and then running for the gate, and all of the soldiers just being scared shitless. Oh, it is such a fantastic first arc. Love Attack on Titan. Love the Fall of Shiganshina. Yeah. Next up, we have The 7 Deadly Sins, which its first arc was 3 chapters, which started in 2012 and got an anime adaptation with 2 episodes, 2014. This first arc is it's good. I like it. I think it's carried heavily by the music, because the anime has the freaking amazing A Perfect Time, which I love. I could put the manga above average, but I think if B+ is fine. It's just a very simple introduction arc of introducing Meliodas and how awesome he is. I do really love the scene though where he grabs the spear and throws it back. Like, that's really awesome. Yeah, it's just good. There's not really much more to say about it. It's just short 3 chapters introducing Meliodas, Elizabeth, and Hawks, and yeah, I'm more excited for the next one, which is much shorter, but we'll get to that when we get to that. Next up is Fairy Tail, and its first arc was 3 chapters, which started in 2006, and then got an anime adaptation in 2009, covering the arc in 2 episodes. I think this first arc is very good. I like the Macau arc. It's a nice little arc, and it's nice to see Natsu and Lucy meeting and them going on a little mission to go save Macau. It's just good fairy tale fun. And this is before the fairy tale charm gets used up because they spend 300 episodes doing the same thing. Maybe it'll go down. Maybe the story will go up. I don't know. It's been a long time since I've seen this show, and I'm just now rewatching it, so We'll see how I feel about the later ones, but right now the first arc is very good. I like it. Not really much else to say. These ones are really simple. Next up is Black Butler, with its first arc being 5 chapters. It started in 2006 and ended in 2007. And it got an anime adaptation in 2008, which adapted the arc in 3 episodes. This was a interesting one to read. I'm gonna give it. I give it an A+. It's just on the edge of A+ for me. I think like a big part. I know I shouldn't judge a show by its dub cast or anything like that. I should just judge a story by its story. But the dub cast for Black Butler always just brings a smile to my face. I love just how British the like staff of the mansion is, and I love Sebastian. Sebastian's just a joy to listen to. Though, oh my gosh, the manga is a little bit different. Especially mostly when it comes to like the first chapter, because the first chapter I do want to talk about, because I find it really fascinating how they decided they didn't want to go the route of the manga. Because in the manga, freaking Sebastian and Ciel have this nice dinner with this man, and that's it. The chapter is them preparing to have this dinner, and then we see Ciel and this man playing a game, and then they go to dinner, and they have dessert, and the chapter ends. That's it. The anime decided to take a different approach though, and have the game be a part of the story, where he's like hinting at the fact that he is going to have misfortune happen, and like misfortune does happen, and the reason why is because he's like trying to backstab Ciel or something. I think I'm pretty sure. And almost gets baked in an oven, but he manages to leave and runs away screaming. And yeah, interesting first episode change. Also, they never adapted the final chapter of this arc, but I don't really blame them, because I think that chapter is just it's just Sebastian preparing for Ciel's day, and that's it. It's it's just a kind of whatever final chapter. But it's still going to give it an A+, because I think the middle parts of this are great. I do really enjoy seeing Ciel's betrothed. I do really enjoy seeing the epic kidnapping and I shouldn't say epic kidnapping. I enjoy seeing the epic this of Sebastian coming to save Ciel from the kidnapping. And that was really cool, just like seeing Sebastian go all out and just murder every single one of the goons. Oh, he is simply one hell of a butler. So yeah, A+. Next up is Spy Family, which has 2 chapters for its first arc, and it started in 2019, the newest show on my list. And the anime adapted this arc in 2022 with 2 episodes. Yeah, Spy Family, it's so great. I love this comes right after Black Butler, because this also has a similar thing where I'm judging it on something I shouldn't. Like, realistically, maybe it's A+, but Anya's just so damn cute. I love Anya. And it's just so adorable. She makes me happy. And yeah, that's the first episode is mainly just about Anya and Lloyd getting to know each other, and it's adorable and it's great. I love Lloyd. And the second one is Lloyd getting a wife, Yor, and Yor's wonderful too. I love the fucking. I love the scene. I'm being child napped. I'm gonna play it for the video.
I'm being sold to traffickers.
I fucking love that little just joke. There's so many great little things that Anya does. I freaking love her. And also, I really love Lloyd and Yor's relationship. They're great. I think this is a fantastic introduction to Spy Family, and I don't know entirely why it's an action shonen, but there is a lot of action in the first arc, so yeah, it's gonna be interesting once we get to the slice of life stuff and it stops being action. But yeah, we'll get to there when we get to there. Great arc, I loved it. Next up, we have Soul Eater, which started off with a prologue arc with 3 chapters for 3 different characters, and it started in 2004, and it got an anime adaptation 2008 with 3 episodes covering the 3 different characters. This one's a little interesting. First off, very good. Soul Eater, I find it really interesting that they do. Each of the chapters of these prologue. Am I saying that right? Each of these 3 prologue chapters is really interesting because they just completely ignore the previous characters that we just introduced and just go straight into this other character. The anime does have some filler to show the other characters, so you don't forget about the other characters. And I don't really mind it. I think it's been like a little over a month since I watched this, so I'm struggling a little bit to remember Soul. I do like Soul and Magi. Oh fuck, I'm mispronouncing names now. I do really like Black Star and Tsubaki as well. There's some gags that I can see that if they continue doing throughout the whole show, I will probably start to not like the gags. But for now, I'm fine with them. And Def the Kid, I don't really care for right now. I don't really care for his obsession over things being straight, even though he's not symmetrical himself. Symmetrical, not straight. I have to get that right. But yeah, I still think it's very good. I like it a lot. There's some great stuff in this first arc. Next up, we have an interesting one, which is Magi, with its first arc being 16 chapters, and it's starting in 2009, with its anime adaptation in 2012, adapting this arc in only 3 episodes. So yeah, right away, very good. I love the dungeon arc. It's very good, but it's so interesting to find out just how much they cut out from this first arc, because yeah, there was 16 chapters for this arc. Like, there is no way you could adapt all of that into 3 episodes. And they don't. They don't. The first chapter doesn't even get adapted. There's only one scene from the first chapter, and that's where Aladdin is in the wagon eating a watermelon. But it's not Alibaba that sees him. It's these other 2 girls. I can't remember their name. I'll probably put them on the screen now, because they do show up later in the anime. But they showed up first here in the first chapter. And then he goes and sees Alibaba, and yeah, the 2 and 5, I think it's 2 and 5, are just kind of jumbled together into a single first episode. And it's very interesting what they did. But I think it still works really well. I think they did a fantastic job with adapting this and choosing what to cut. Because I don't think they really cut anything too crazy. Like, I was reading along while watching, and I'm like the things they cut are like, alright, I mean, would have been cool to see it, but it's not needed for the story. They kept everything they needed to for the story, and it flowed really well, and it was really enjoyable. I like Aladdin, and I like Alibaba, and yeah, I think this is a very good first arc for Magi. And it's my friend's first time, so I'm looking forward to seeing how my friend feels about the series going forward. I'm also looking forward to seeing how I feel about the manga going forward, because it's finished manga-wise, but not anime-wise. But yeah, that's it for Magi. Next up, we have D. Gray Man with 7 chapters for the first arc, which came out in 2004. And it had an anime adaptation in 2006 with 4 episodes covering these 6 chapters. This is another interesting one. I'm gonna show, manga-wise, I give this an A. I think it's very good. It's a very good introduction here to the story of the Gray Man, and I like his journey to go to the headquarters, and yeah, but the anime is a little different. I'm gonna give I think it is an entire tier difference. I will only separate the anime and manga if I do feel like there is a tier difference between the two, and I do feel like it is the case for this one, because unfortunately they decided to separate the arc into 2 and have the second arc in between them. And if you just watch the first arc without watching the second arc, it's a little confusing because there's suddenly characters that aren't introduced yet. Also, there's a little bit of filler and stuff. I think it is still good. I think it is good, but I know you probably should watch this before you watch the second arc. But the point of this project isn't, oh, I'm watching the anime, and so I'm going to be watching that. The point is, I'm ranking the arcs, and the first arc is split in 2, and the second half kind of isn't very good because of the fact it gets split up. It was pretty good in the manga because it was just right after like the first chapter or the first 2 chapters. I don't fucking remember. It was just after the introduction with the church, and then he goes and he meets up with the Earl and has that big fight in the courtyard, and then he goes to the tower, to the headquarters, and fights you. And it was good pacing, and it was enjoyable, and the anime didn't do that. But I'm obviously docking a point, but it's still B+. I still really do like it. But I do think, in this case, the manga is better. Next up is One Piece, which started in 1997, and the first arc is covered in 7 chapters. And the anime adapted this arc in 1999 and covered this arc in 4 episodes. This is another interesting one, especially since it's right after D. Gray Man here, where they kind of went away from the manga. The first chapter doesn't really get fully adapted until the special, I think. And yeah, it's pretty. I don't know why they did that, because I love the first chapter. I think the first chapter is a fantastic introduction to Luffy. I think it's a fantastic introduction to the world. I love seeing Luffy's interactions with Shanks. It's just great to see him like go off and start his journey to become a pirate. Also, the first episode completely changes things as well, because it adds another ship that apparently freaking Nami's on, and is getting attacked by the pirate ship, whereas it's just the pirate ship that picks up Luffy in the barrel, and yeah. But besides that, I think it's still pretty good. Like, I think early One Piece is paced mostly fine. I do really enjoy it. There is another omission, though, that I greatly disagree with, which is why I think the manga is A+ for me. I love the manga, but the anime is unfortunately a tier below in A. And I think a big part of that is the second omission. The big part is the 2 omissions, but also the second omission is just like the Zoro flashback where he has with his friend. Like, that is great. I love the little flashback with his friend, and then she tragically dies, and it's sad. But also Zoro's awesome, and I love Zoro. Yeah, it's I really do love I'm gonna love going through and ranking these first, four? I think 4 arcs. Because each of the first 4 introduce different crewmates. It's gonna be interesting ranking just the individual arcs and seeing how I like them. Because I have read up to Skypiea, and I haven't watched the anime. So this is my first time watching the anime, and I do like it so far. We'll see if I still like it once it gets filler heavy, but right now I like it. A+ for the manga and A for the anime. Next up we have Fire Force, which started in 2015, and the first arc is 13 chapters, with an anime adaptation in 2019 and 4 episodes covering this arc. Now, Fire Force, just straight up B+. I think it's good. I don't think it's really crazy or anything, but I don't think it's trying to be anything crazy. This is another unfortunate one where they don't adapt everything, but with this one, I don't think they really cut out anything really worthwhile to mention. The only thing that I think it's worthwhile mentioning is the fact that they don't have the... Oh gosh, what is the name for the... I feel so bad I can't remember what the fire creatures are called now. I could look it up, but you know what? No, I'm not going to. With the fire creature in the table, at the table, in the manga, he we see. Oh yeah, there's a cool. I really like this chapter in the manga. I think this is the one chapter that I think the manga is better, but it doesn't really affect the arc in total. It's just one chapter. Because we do see his daughter return home, and she sees that his dad has become this fire creature, but he still welcomes her home as he's just sitting there at the table. And when the Fire Force comes to deal with him, he welcomes them to his home, and he's actually talking to them, and it's what? Why is this creature talking? Yeah, it's I do like it. They do fight the guy at the end, and yeah, it's typical shonen anime. I'm looking forward to watching more, but I'm not super hyped about it like other shows. But I want to see more of this show, and I will eventually. So, B+. I think it was good. Man, I hope I don't come off as a manga elitist with how much I talk about the freaking mangas. Next up, we have the first arc for My Hero Academia, which started in 2014 and covered 4 chapters. And it got an anime adaptation in 2016 that went through 4 episodes. My Hero Academia, A+. I think it's great. I freaking love My Hero Academia, and this first arc is really wonderful. That scene where freaking All Might tells Deku that he too can be a hero always gets me. It's so great. Ugh. I really love the freaking testing thing where he just is unable to get a single point, but he gets rescue points for helping Chaka, and it's a great scene as well, and it's got a wonderful end to the arc. He's welcome into My Hero Academia, and yeah, I freaking love this arc. I don't know what else to say. My Hero Academia had a great start. I love this story, so I'm probably gonna rank these arcs higher than most people would. But yeah, we'll see. We'll see as we go on how I rank each arc. But for right now, first arc, A+. Next up, we have Jujutsu Kaisen. And the first arc is actually the Cursed Child arc, which came out before the Fearsome Womb. And this was a 4-chapter prologue in 2017. And it was adapted into a movie 2021, in between season 1 and 2. This first arc, I freaking loved it. As easily. This is an amazing... It's an amazing arc, and it is so wonderful. But it's like, it's so hard to judge where you should watch this. I don't know if I think this should be the first thing you watch. I don't know if this should be the first thing you read. I think you probably should be introduced to Yuji first. But this is a good introduction to the world and to the cursed spirits. There's a great YouTuber. I think Totally Not Mark did a review. I'm gonna actually double check that. Yes, Totally Not Mark did a video of reviewing the Jujutsu Kaisen story, and he brought up a great point that like it shouldn't be in the beginning that you watch it, and it shouldn't be where the movie was released, but like somewhere in season 2 you should watch it. I can't remember exactly where he said that you should watch it, but I'm like, that's actually a pretty good point. Like, I think it does fit better there when you have like context for Gojo and Geto, and you can understand their past and what they've gone through, and then you see that in culmination with this movie, and it's like, oh yeah, I understand the emotions that this movie's trying to tell, and it's great. But I don't know, this movie and this arc is just incredible no matter what. Freaking peak. Probably most of Jujutsu Kaisen is going to be up here in peak, because Jujutsu Kaisen, that's its peak. What else can you say? This is modern shonen at its best. I feel like the manga kind of dragged a little bit towards the end, but we'll see if the anime improves that, because my gosh, the animation for this show is incredible. And yeah, can't wait to watch more with my friends. Next up, we have Demon Slayer's first arc, the Final Selection arc, which started in 2016 and was 9 chapters long, with an anime adaptation in 2019 and 5 episodes. Speaking of great animation, A+. Friggin' incredible. Demon Slayer's first arc is great. There's a reason why this was freaking so popular. It's probably because the animation and the story was amazing. Only reason why I don't have it in S, like my other friends, I think, put it in S. I'm not a big fan of the training. The training segment. There was some parts of it I found a little boring, but it honestly didn't affect the ranking that much. I still gave it an A+. I freaking love Tanjiro and I love Nezuko, and I am looking forward to seeing where this story goes, because this is one of the ones I haven't watched yet, so I'm really enjoying this first arc. A+. Don't know what else to say. It's great. Next up, we have Yu-Gi-Oh!, one of the oldest on this list, only one other being older, and it started in 1996 to 1997 with the school arc, and was 25 chapters long, with it getting an anime adaptation in 1998, done by a different studio than Duel Monsters, and never getting a dub, so probably a lot of people have never seen the first 3 arcs of Yu-Gi-Oh! And this first arc was done in 21 episodes, but it's a little interesting because 2 of these episodes were from the 3rd arc and not the first arc. So I'll talk about those when we get to the 3rd arc. But yeah, no, like I mentioned, this is very different from the manga. It's not actually a very different, kind of. It does deviate. I think manga, I'll give an A. I think it's very good. The anime is just a little bit lower. I'll give a B+. There is a lot of changes. I mean, the chapters that are adapted are mostly faithful, with some changes, mostly being what the game is that they play. Because Yami Yugi always plays a different game to basically torture these people. And the manga is usually worse than the anime. But there is a lot of chapters that just don't get adapted. And it's so weird because there's like 5, 7, maybe 10 episodes of filler. Like, they had the episode count to be able to adapt probably everything, but they just decided, no, well, we're not going to. And I don't know why. I don't know if this... I don't think this first 3 arcs will ever get a proper anime adaptation. Also, for some reason, the anime decided, this one character who, like, never talks and is only in 1 chapter, we like that Miho girl. We should add her to, like, the full story and have her be one of the friends in the group. And, oh my gosh, they completely butcher Honda's character, too. They just make him, like, this weird public cleaning person, and he's just obsessed with cleaning, and he's obsessed with Miho. And there's so many jokes about him and Miho that I don't care for. I really don't. But I think it's very good. It's still good. I think I do really love just seeing Yami Yugi just straight up just either murder or torture these people. and I love seeing Janochi just before he started dueling, just going around punching people in the face. Janochi is great. Yamayuki's great. Oh, this is a really fun watch, especially if you've only ever seen Duel Monsters, because it is so different. There is only 1 game of Duel Monsters in this entire first arc, if you're reading the manga, and that is Kaiba versus Yugi, and that's it. Every other episode is a different. Every other chapter and every episode is a different little game that they play. I freaking love 1 chapter. The anime, the anime decided to keep the guy alive, and he was just like permanently thinking that he was on fire, whereas the manga just straight up burned him alive. I mean, he was just like, yeah, I'm just gonna kill you. I'm just... Though I feel like the anime is a little worse, because now he's just permanently burning mentally. Ugh. And that's what I found out a lot of times when watching these shows, is sometimes the censorship just makes these things worse. Because instead of them just straight up dying, they're instead just tortured for the rest of their life. And, yep, that's better. That's... I think it's very good. I like this first arc of Yu-Gi-Oh! And I am a big Yu-Gi-Oh! Fan, so I'll probably rank these very high. And if you want to see some actual non-biased opinions, I do have my friends' ratings on the screen while I'm ranking. My friends aren't as big of a fan of Yu-Gi-Oh! As I am, so maybe you want to pay more attention to those than mine. I don't know. But for me, the manga's an A, the anime is B+. Next up, we have Black Clover with the Magic Knights entrance arc, and it started in 2015 with 10 chapters, and it got an anime adaptation in 2017 with 13 episodes covering this arc. I said 13, but we only watched 12 because the last episode is freaking filler, and most of this is filler. Like, holy shit, why do they add so much filler? That's why the anime gets a fucking C and the manga gets a B. It was so close to being a D, because my goodness, I cannot stand Asta's constant screaming. Asta is so annoying to me and my friends. We hated listening to Asta just screaming all the time. And the anime decides, we also need to show scenes of the second main character, Yuno. But I don't even care about Yuno either. He's just a bland character right now. He doesn't really have any character. The only reason why this is a C is because eventually they freaking finally get to the chapter where they introduce the Black Bulls, and I like the Black Bulls. I think there's some interesting characters in there, and I'm curious where they go with the Black Bulls. But that also means I have to hear more Asta screaming. So I don't. I'm not really looking forward to it at all. If you've only watched the anime, oh my gosh, I don't know how to describe just how much filler there is. The second episode of the show is 7 minutes of canon material, because I think that's the episode where they decide to take the flashback that happened in the manga, where we saw Yuno in the snow. I'm trying to remember this, but it's been so long, and I don't care about Black Clover, so my memory is kind of just slowly erasing it. So I'm gonna just try to go off the cuff and remember. I think it's like, as a flashback of Yuno in the snow, and this guy trying to rob him, and Asta comes and saves him. When they were kids, and they say they're going to be rivals, and they decide to expand on that by showing like so much of their childhood. And oh my gosh, Black Clover made me realize something about filler. Filler's not bad. Filler can be fine, because the thing about filler is usually it's after we're already introduced to the characters and you want to see more of them. Do you want to see more of Luffy and his friends? Well, there's plenty of filler to watch. Do you want to watch more of Natsu and the Fairy Tail members? There's filler for that. For some reason, Black Clover decides we're just going to have filler in the first arc. So the introduction to these characters is going to be even longer, and I don't like these characters, and I don't want to see more of these characters, and I don't like this. I know this is a long segment of me just complaining about Black Clover, but I want to emphasize how much I hate this. It was an F. This was an F in the first few episodes. This was garbage, and then it went up to a D and then it went to a C. But it's so bad. It's, oh my gosh. I do. Okay, some good things. I do like the magic system. I think the magic system is interesting. I am looking forward to seeing what they do with the magic system. I'm curious about Noelle. I like her water magic thing that she's not able to control completely. I'm curious to see how good she gets once she's able to control it. I think Asta's negating ability is interesting, and it could have some good narrative use. Could have some interesting battles with that. I don't really know anything about Yuno really yet, so I don't know. But I'm also curious about the Wizard King, because at the end of the arc we do see the Wizard King, and I am curious about him. But yeah, no, this is a C. This is. Oh, I'm done talking about Black Clover. Moving on. Sorry to all the Black Clover fans. Maybe find a better show. And that's mean, but I'm sorry. I really don't like it. I'm sorry. Next up, we have the only novel on the list here. We have That Time I Got Reincarnated as a Slime, with its first volume, Empowerment, being released in 2014. And I am reading in the manga while watching this, which the manga came out in 2015 and went to 2016, which covered this arc in 11 chapters. And this first volume got a anime adaptation in 2018, covering the arc in 9 episodes. Slime, S. Freaking amazing. I love Slime. Slime is adorable. Slime's great. I freaking love what the dub chose to have Brittany Karbowski play the Slime. Helps really emphasize how cute it is. And just as the first arc, just watching little slime learn about the world and get set up with the goblins that evolve into hobgoblins, and yeah, it's fantastic. And at the end, the slime gets their body. I don't know whether to say her or him, because the previous life they were a him, but now their body is a she. So I'm just gonna say them. They're a slime, so I'm just gonna say them. And it is technically 9 episodes because there is one scene in the 9th episode where I think it's the scene. Yeah, the scene is where they are looking at their new body, and yeah, and that is the only scene in that episode. But this is a fantastic start. I freaking love the beginning with Rimuru and the dragon. I freaking love the hobgoblins. I love the direwolves. This was a fun to watch. This was a fun to watch. What? This was a fun time watching. I really loved it. And yeah, looking forward to seeing where this story goes. Maybe I shouldn't have included this since it's a novel and not a freaking manga at first, but I don't care. I think it's fine to have one novel, and it is listed as an action shonen, so sure, I'm including it, and it's so far great, and I hope it continues being this great. Next up, we have the oldest series on this list here, which is Dragon Ball, which its first arc, Emperor Pilaf, started in 1984 and ended in 1985, and covering 23 chapters. And this arc getting an anime adaptation in 1986 with 13 episodes covering this arc. Dragon Ball. It was first arc of B+. I think it's great. I love the beginning. I love Kid Goku. I think this is a fun, wonderful start to this journey of Goku and his friends. There's some really good gags. I think Toriyama's just wonderful at the gags. This is actually a really interesting one on the list here, because me and my friends started watching Dragon Ball again before we started this project, and we finished all of Dragon Ball when I had this idea for this project, and Dragon Ball was on the list of popular shows, so I included it, and we're gonna wait to watch Z once we actually get to it. So some of my memory of these arcs is going to get worse and worse as we go on, because it's going to be longer and longer since I watched it. But I do really like the Emperor Pilaf arc. There isn't too much filler either here in the anime, yet. The first 2 arcs don't really have that much filler, but once we get to the 3rd arc and beyond, then we start to maybe separate between anime and manga. We'll see how I feel. But yeah, no. Right now, Emperor Pilaf arc is good. If you haven't seen original Dragon Ball and you've only seen Z, fix that. Go right now, fix that. Go watch Dragon Ball. If you can't handle filler, there's a great Dragon Ball cut that Milkman did that you can go watch, and yeah, it's wonderful. Next up, we have Naruto in its first arc, Prologue and Land of Waves, coming out in 1999 and ending in 2000. This arc was covered in 33 chapters, and the anime adaptation was 2002 to 2003 with 19 episodes. So, I did not grow up with the big 3. Naruto, Bleach, and One Piece were things of the past for me, and I didn't really care to watch them. I never thought I would watch Naruto because I was like, it's full of filler. Why would I want to watch Naruto when I could go read the manga? I have changed my opinion. Peak. I'm now a Naruto fan. I'm sorry. This arc is fantastic. I love I love this first arc. Oh my goodness, this first arc was crazy. Maybe the prologue section wasn't as crazy because there's some parts that are, but Oh my gosh, the Land of Waves. The freaking Zabuza and the... I always blank on his name. Why do I always blank on his name? Zabuza and Haku are so great. And I freaking... Oh my gosh, Haku and Zabuza's death. Oh, it made me cry. I freaking love them. They were great. Oh. And poor Haku didn't deserve that. And oh my gosh, the manga, when frickin' Zabuza went to attack the guy, in the anime he just knocks him off the bridge, but in the manga he just straight up cuts his head off. There are so many things that are also censored that are just like, holy shit, this manga is crazy. The Naruto, like that, the one kid's dad just getting nailed to the cross and his like arms being chopped off, like holy shit. This is a crazy first arc, and a part of me thought about lowering it because of the anime's just constant use of the garbage tagline I hate, the believe it, but I am willing to forgive it because it is an anime only thing. He doesn't say it in the manga, and I'm just like, I'm just going to ignore it. I'm just going to pretend it's not there, because honestly, it's just a quick line. It's a little cringy, but who cares? Because otherwise, this is a fantastic arc. It's amazing. I love it. Like, if that's the most negative thing I can say, that's like the only negative thing I can think about saying as well is the freaking recaps. If recaps bother you, this could definitely be lower, because there is one episode where half the episode is a recap. But I don't really mind recaps because you could just skip them. You could just, alright, it's a recap. Just move past it. Alright, cool. We're past the recap. Now we're on the episode. Though I can imagine, like, if you were watching this weekly and if the episode you got was that one where it's freaking half the episode is a recap, I would be upset. I would, like, I get 10 minutes of this fantastic arc and that's it. But no, yeah, watching it nowadays, and you don't have to worry about recaps or like any of the garbage shit like filler. You can just skip all that if you don't want to watch it. I think this is peak. I'm looking forward to seeing if the rest of Naruto reaches this high. But for now, I'm a Naruto fan. Naruto's done it. Oh, I freaking love it. Next up, we have the first arc of Bleach, Agent of Shinigami, with its first arc starting in 2002 and going to 2003 with 70 chapters. And getting an anime adaptation in 2004 and going until 2005 with 20 episodes. Yeah, this is another one I haven't seen, and A+. Freaking love this first arc of Bleach. Agent of Shinigami. Oh, there is differences between the manga and the anime, but I don't think there's not really any big changes. The only thing I can really think of that's worth mentioning is I think it's like the second hollow we see, which is Orihime's brother, and they cut out him talking about the fact that he took her away from the parents who beat her as a baby, and it's like, holy shit. But yeah, no, this is a fantastic first arc, and I love Ichigo, and Chad is the Chad. I don't think Chad came from this character, but it should have, because he is the ultimate Chad, and I freaking love him. And I'm really curious about Orihime and her powers with the fairies. She seems really interesting. And it's good. I really love it. Also, Ichigo's theme is probably the best theme out of every single main character we have. I might even say of all time. I can't think of another main character that really has a theme and has it better than Ichigo's. It's great. This is a wonderful arc. and I love the characters, and I'm looking. I think it did have an A plus and not an S, because it does have a problem that Code Geass also had, where they just continually go back to the school instead of focusing on the more interesting aspect of the show. Like, I don't care about Ichigo's school life. I just want to see him fight Hollows. But it looks like the next arc will be more interesting, because they're going into the portal to go rescue Rukia, and I'm looking forward to seeing that happen. But for now, Bleach's first arc, A+. It was great. Next up, we have the longest of the first arcs, Hunter x Hunter's first arc, The Hunter Exam, which started in 1998 and ran until 1999, and covered 43 chapters, and got an anime adaptation in 1999 that ran until 2000 and went on for 36 episodes. But the one I am watching with my friends is the 2011 adaptation that started in 2011 and went until 2012 with 26 episodes. Hunter x Hunter, A+. Freaking great first arc. I love Gon. I love Killua. I love Leorio. I love Killua. Did I say Kurapika or did I say I don't know. Kurapika, Leorio, Killua, and Gon. I love all four of them. They're great, and it's great to see their friendship form. And the Hunter Exam is wonderful. I do in my head, I do count the Zodiac stuff as a separate arc, but technically it is part of arc 1, so watched it alongside that. And the Zodiac stuff is great too. Freaking love going to save Killua, and his whole situation is sad, but it's great. I love this first arc. It is interesting though, the first chapter of Hunter x Hunter is never like properly adapted, I don't think. Like, they don't fully show everything that happens in this, because I can't remember. I never watched 1999. It might have the full chapter in 1999. But 2011 never covers the full chapter, and it's such an important part where we get to see the flashback between Gon and Kite, where he tells Gon about what it is to be a hunter, and his dad is like one of the greatest, if not the greatest hunter, and that's how he learns about his dad, and how he learns that his dad's a hunter. And Kite gives him his dad's card, his hunter license, and because of that he wants to be a hunter just like his dad was. And I don't know why they didn't adapt it. Like, Kite is very important later on in the story, but oh well. I still think it's fantastic. I love it, and I'm glad my friends are enjoying it. So one of my friends has not seen the show, and it's great to introduce them to it. And before finishing off the video, these are my rankings for everything all together in a nice list format. I'm not going to read off everything, but my top 10: Attack on Titan, Jujutsu Kaisen, Fullmetal Alchemist, Naruto, I Got Reincarnated as a Slime, Spy Family, Hunter x Hunter, My Hero, Demon Slayer, and then One Punch Man. Fantastic shows. You can pause if you want to read this entire list. And here is the list for all of our rankings averaged together, with only 3 things at the top: Jujutsu Kaisen, Fullmetal Alchemist, and Reincarnated as a Slime. We all agree as tier. You can pause if you want to read this entire list. And this final one here is all 3 of our S's. This is all of our S's together. Foxy has quite a bit more than all of the rest of us. And that's all the first arcs. I wanted to do a bigger video than this, a longer video. This was already freaking an hour, I think. But yeah, I wanted to do a longer one where I went into depth about like what was going on in these arcs, you know, what was happening, the summary and stuff. But I just couldn't find a way to make it entertaining, and so this is just a long video about me ranking and ranting about these shows that I really love, and I'm gonna keep making these even if nobody watches this, because I want to keep watching these shows, except Black Clover. But I'm gonna keep watching it because maybe it'll get better. I doubt it, but maybe. But yeah, if you enjoyed this, maybe let me know in a comment or something, because this was a long yapping session, and yeah, I'll make more of these. Subscribe if you want to. I hope you all have a good day or a good night wherever you are, and yeah, hope you enjoyed this dumb little video of me ranking shonen arcs. Goodbye.